will welcome you back to the RIZE Athletics Complex as our continuing coverage of RIZE Basketball here on JRM Sports. Matt Forgel alongside Damon McDermott as we continue our coverage of RIZE Basketball and the final game of our tournament here on this Easter weekend. So RIZE looking to complete the circuit unblemished.
So RIZE is 2-0, Matt, and they get a quick point to start this one off. Momentum, you just played at 1 o'clock, and now you're back at 3. And they are playing GRB, who is 1-1. They lost to Best Virginia by 10 last night. We were told a lot of these guys for GRB are from Riverview, Fox Chapel, and a couple other neighboring schools.
Here in a little. There's Toll, who hit some three-pointers in the game earlier this afternoon. Helped RIZE to the victory, as did this man, Mamadou Kane. He comes up empty on that shot. Back up the floor for GRB. There's Beck. Signanu. Fed down to Lynch. Lynch in the paint, hook shot doesn't fall. Easy rebound for Steele. Guyton bouncing inside, Southall.
Nice pass by Guyton there. You thought he might take that baseline jumper, but he finds Southall cutting underneath the hoop for an easy 2 points. Southall's been growing some confidence this weekend.
No doubt about it.
Very impressive. Getting more comfortable in that big 6'5" frame of his. Again, had a really nice freshman season at Swickley.
Signanu turns it over.
Sharman White barking out the orders for Drew Steeles.
Kane out to Tall. 3-ball, corner pocket off the rim, no good. Rebound loose. Fed right back to Tall. He'll get to make up for it, and he does not disappoint.
About to say, if you give him a second chance from the same baseline, it's going to go in. He got hot the game before, keeping up with that momentum going in this one so far.
Deep three to try to answer, and Signanu does just that.
I'm going to give the listener a little insider information. Matt, hardworking went up to Signanu and asked him how he pronounces his name. He was surprised. He goes, what are you guys doing?
Yeah.
We're like, the game's on JRM YouTube page. So he'll appreciate that we got his pronunciation. His own coach said, listen, it changes every day. So you got to ask him.
Tall trying for another. Pure.
He is now 5 for 6 in the last hour and a half, is how I was saying. And I mean, just let him keep shooting. It looks like they're like, all right, we're going to feed the hot hand here. And Connor Toll has been shooting lights out here.
Beck guarded against Steeles. Fisher gets it. Up top to Lynch for a triple that does not fall. And out of bounds off of GRB. RIZE Basketball, 12:55. Opening moments of this final game of the tournament. For RIZE anyway. Southall on his pocket pick, was able to retrieve it. Guyton, left side of the lane on the right hand, doesn't fall. Southall rips away a big offensive board. Back outside to Kane, who feeds it into the corner. Tall, deep two doesn't fall. Put back opportunity. Guyton doesn't go. And finally, GRB comes up with the basketball. Nanu on the right hand, guarded against Kane. Goes to the rack before pulling it out. Lynch is fouled. Nope, they didn't want it reset. They didn't want the shot clock reset. So goes to 20.
It's technically the off season. I will give the clock operator some slack.
Fisher with the basketball. Long pass, too much on that one, overcooked, out of bounds.
So far, this on-ball defense for RIZE has given GRB all they can handle, can't get into their sets. Their coach is urging them to try to get some more fast break opportunities because the length of RIZE when they get into their man or zone defense has been too much so far for GRB.
Southall, nice footwork in the lane, couldn't get it to go. Kane, meanwhile, recycles on the hook shot.
When you got Southall and Kane down low, somebody's going to be able to get you an offensive rebound. Good job taking your time. There's going to be a quick hand check foul on Jameer Guyton.
The impressive play here in 15U.
Makes me happy that I am not in high school anymore, Matt. I'll tell you
that. I tell you. Wasn't good then and would surely not be good now.
I was happy to score a couple points in the YMCA league.
Yeah, right. I knew the table was where my destiny was going to go. As the destiny for Fisher is the charity stripe as he earns a trip to the line after being fouled.
We're going to see our first subs in for RIZE after this first free throw. Nolan Reed, Pickett. And I gave you a little insight on the head coach for RIZE, Sharman White, who has one of the best resumes I've ever read on USA Basketball.
No doubt.
I would guess in these practices they're listening to everything he has to say. And then we saw Mike Isolino still coaching the older guys here today. They got a big win before this one, so RIZE is winning all the games so far in this one.
Fisher good at the line there. 12-5 RIZE advantage. You know, for 15-year-olds to get the experience of good coaching, especially at the high levels that USA Basketball presents, great opportunity for these young men to learn for people who have won gold medals.
7 gold medals. And what's awesome
Who's counting?
He's had opportunities to coach college, but he really likes molding high school youth and helping them on and off the court. And he's seen all the talent, and I bet he's impressed with this RIZE team so far.
3 is good. Drained by Nolan Reed.
Another guy we didn't see last year, but super talented. Love shooting that long ball as well.
Incoming freshman. Turnover here where opportunity for Pickett. Settle things down. Tracy on. Out to Tall. 3 on the way. Off the rim. And thrown out of bounds. Nice save. Nicely done there by Reed. And they get 2 to fall. As following there was Brandon Pickett.
Pickett just shocked that ball was still in bounds. Another easy point for RIZE, and the offense is humming compared to the first game against Best Virginia.
Hustle play by Nolan Reed to save that one.
But he was just reacting after his teammate got spiked with the pass. And it was a heads-up play by GRB, too. The ball just didn't go out of bounds.
Another foul that sends back to the line. McNaughton checks in here for GRB, and for RIZE, Chris Tall, twin brother of Connor Tall, back into the lineup. Isaac Sumare out there as well for RIZE. Misses the shot, loose basketball, rolling around, and they go kick ball. And it will be RIZE basketball. Coming to you from court 23.
We did get the chicken fingers. Very good. I mean, we got food here, steak salads. You got 6 courts. I was joking with you. I'm like, they just keep popping up. What an amazing facility.
Oh, my goodness. It's incredible.
We're going to be here all spring and summer for some awesome AAU hoops action.
Good ball movement. Reed for a triple. Doesn't go. Gracie on a rebound and fouled on it. As McNaughton picks up the foul. Chris Tall over to Nolan Reed. Reed over to the corner and Pickett. Pickett drives on the right hand.
Very impressive move from the young man. Getting a couple extra minutes here early on for RIZE. Nice drive there. Almost gets a steal as well, using that left hand on that layup. It's awesome to see all these guys. We talked about it in the first game, Matt, but you get a little bit more playing time. You get more confident with the ball in your hands as well. And AAU, everybody wants to win, but again, you can make a couple more mistakes. You don't got high school win-loss records or playoff implications, and it's nice to see all these guys get a little bit more confident with the ball in their hands.
Yeah, it's where you learn. It's where you learn. And
there's going to be an off-ball foul on Pickett. Yeah, I think that's what gets lost sometimes. This is still developmental. I mean, everybody wants to win, but this is a time where you can kind of hone your skills, because now basketball is a 12-month sport.
Great venues such as this, understandably so. It will be a busy summer here at RIZE. Signanu fading away, getting that one to fall. Reed outside. Pickett doesn't get it to go. Put back. That doesn't fall there for Gracion, and GRB comes away with it. Baseline floater that doesn't go. Gracion went right into the hands, and then a loose basketball picked up by Sumari, led it ahead to Pickett. Pickett off the window. Right on the line. Oh, thought that should be over and back, but officials say otherwise. And a three on the way. It clings off the rim, no good from Beck. Long pass that's tipped beautifully by Pickett. A work of art there from Brandon Pickett to get it to himself.
Love how they're trying to jumpstart this offense with a lot of fast break points there. Pickett had to tip it off to himself.
Mid-range doesn't fall. Sumari no-look pass to get it back over to Nolan Reed, who splashes in a triple.
Reed's been very impressive this weekend as well. Another sharpshooter again. You have all these double teams going after your big guys. Connor Tall, Nolan Reed. If you can hit some threes, it opens up the whole offense going for Swickley and RIZE going forward.
Beck drains a three and answers. Timeout GRB at 6:53 here in the first half, 24-11.
And that's been
leads it.
The issue, Matt. They can score. It's just you get a little uncomfortable with that size of RIZE when you don't get to set up your offensive sets. They need to try to slow down RIZE, but right there you get a much-needed 3 points. Problem is the bad news. I saw Mama Duquesne's coming back in the game. Southall's coming back in the game, so they're going to come right back at you with that size. See a couple of these contact layups. There's Pickett with that nice right hand finish. Clay was going to dunk it at one point, and there's one more. Put that shoulder down, create a little bit of space, and go right up top with it. But again, RIZE trying to go 3-0 this weekend. GRB's trying to go 2-1. That West Virginia team was very impressive at the 1 o'clock time, too. They gave RIZE a really good game as well.
Yep.
So they'll be playing AIT, I would guess, in one more game. And West Virginia will also try to go 2-1.
Out of the timeout.
And I heard GRB's head coach, the Riverview head coach, he said, we're not going to out-rebound them, so we got to knock down our shots. So take good shots. And, I mean, that's the best advice you can get. Yeah. I mean, that's what you got to do when you're playing a team bigger than you.
Tall finds it to the far side. Guyton can't convert. Signanu pulls it down and is fouled.
They're just going to call that out of bounds. Yeah, I thought maybe
Signanu.
he got whacked on the arm, but RIZE gets the ball back.
There's Kane backing down. Signano back outside. Quick ball movement. Tall, penetrating. Floater on the way. That doesn't fall. And rebounded by GRB. Pushed it back up the floor by Fisher. Three on the way, top of the key. Rims out, no good.
It's hard to create space against RIZE so far for GRB. Trying to use a lot of high pick and rolls. Right there you saw Mamadou Kane do that for Drew Steele.
To the rack on the right hand, falling and earning a trip to the line there. Maybe a delayed whistle, but a whistle nonetheless is going to send Guyton to the line at 5:49. And RIZE leading this one 24-11. The scoreboard has been paused almost for a while.
That's the one thing when you have substitutions going in and out for both of these teams. It's hard to catch an offensive rhythm. But so far, RIZE pretty much has been coasting in this one. Now 25-11, and then when you got Rob Southall and Mamadou Kane down low, you're going to get another chance.
Three on the way. That doesn't fall by Steels. Kane underneath. Lost it. Taken away neatly by Beck. Beck handed it off to Fisher, and Fisher settles. Now drives against Kane and is rejected. RIZE in transition to Steels. Three-ball corner pocket. Good for Drew Steels.
Talked about it last game. All he needs is usually one or two shots, and he starts to get going here, and it's just interesting to watch. He'll be a facilitator for 10 minutes, and then out of nowhere you see him get 3 or 4 threes. Nice jumper there by Drew Steels.
Ball tipped away into the corner. Fisher can't connect. Southall outlets to Steels. Steels one-on-one and finishes beautifully with the left hand.
Right on cue, out of nowhere. His offensive game will just start going as soon as he gets hot.
Deep three. Signano doesn't fall. Tull the board. Tull penetrate left hand and is fouled. As Kelly will check in along with McNaughton for GRB. RIZE bested West Virginia earlier this afternoon. Looking to stay undefeated, and Mamadou Kane.
That's one guy that can help stay undefeated.
Certainly does.
He got excited. He wanted to dunk there and mishandled the pass, so he just laid it up.
Expands the lead to 21. That shot off the mark by Signano. Down the floor is Guyton on the left hand. Couldn't get it to fall. Nice rebound by McNaughton. Fisher now with it. Back to McNaughton.
This offense has just been getting stalled out. You see Mamadou Kane helping up top. He can switch onto a guard if he needs to, and they just need to try to create space, but now RIZE got the ball right back.
Southall the steal, little Euro, and loses it off of GRB, so it stays with RIZE with substitutions checking in at the 3:13 mark of this first half.
And we're going to get a RIZE timeout. It looks like they're going to go 5 in, 5 out, so probably just want to go over what's going on in this offensive set. But so far, RIZE has passed all the tests in this first Easter shoot-around. Up 21 here. Looks like they're going to go 3-0. West Virginia going to try to go 2-1. GRB is 1-1 right now. AIT lost to RIZE to kick off this tournament last night. But who doesn't like some off-season hoops? We're going to be here for a couple other tournaments over here at RIZE.
Yeah, we maybe thought that the last time we would talk to you would be out in Hershey and in the state championship. And
now we're back for some AAU hoops. And I said basketball has now turned into a 12-month sport.
Right.
I mean, it's AAU. There's high school basketball, and then a lot of these high school teams now have a fall mini-season where they'll scrimmage other high schools. So it's always going around. My cousins go to North Hills, and I mean, my aunt's always talking about how they got fall season, they got AAU, they have spring, but it just shows you, it helps. The talent here in Pittsburgh just growing in basketball. So finally back here, and it looks like we got a pretty much whole new lineup for both teams.
Gracion loses that one.
Tried the no-look pass to Nolan Reed.
Shout out to these officials who
They've done
doesn't
it
look
again.
like they
And
don't
they're
get
not
it.
gassed at
Right.
all. I mean, they've literally done 3 games today at least. It's probably a game after this. But they want to stay sharp too. They just went through a whole high school season. I know a couple of the refs are NIIA refs as well, some college refs. So
High school, I know both in NAIA and in the WPIL, PIAA.
it's funny as you do more games announcing, you get to know these refs.
Yeah.
As they're all just familiar faces.
Got that shot off before the shot clock, and then a little bump there, a little shoulder from Brandon Pickett, getting the 2 to go.
If you don't extend your arm, you get a lot of move. The refs will let you go. As Pickett did a good job just using the shoulder there, not extending that elbow.
Beck fouled. Sumari, the guilty party there.
GRB trying to find something here again. So much length out here for RIZE. Makes all these three-point shots a little bit harder. Beck there thinks about it.
Patterson denied. Sumari got his hand in the path of that one.
The defense has just been suffocating. I mean, it is very hard to get anything going. And like, again, we talked about there's a shot clock as well. So you got to be very quick.
4 to shoot. Guyton. Take it away right as the shot clock went off, and then a foul as Fisher will get charged with that one as Pickett was on his way to try to add to this 34-11 advantage. Lynch back out on the floor for GRB.
Fisher will take a breather.
Mari and out to Reed. Reed, a little stop and pop just inside the arc and off a few fingertips out of bounds off of RIZE.
Reed's another one. You can just give him a little bit of space. He's going to take every shot just like Drew Steele does. I can see why Reed's the other point guard or shooting guard on this team. Not scared for any shot at any time for this RIZE team. Nice steal by GRB, though.
Yeah, Beck missed the shot and then went back and got a ball back after that miss. They come up empty there. Gracion with a just hopeful pass to find somebody wearing the same color jersey, and it ended up finding Nolan Reed, who was fouled, and Reed goes to the line with exactly 60 ticks to go here in the first half.
Gracion's another one who's going to be a freshman next year, and he's been very impressive. Right there, that's a heads-up play. You hope someone's up there in space, but you're kind of just trusting your team there. Nolan Reed chased that down like a wide receiver. He misses his first free throw, though.
Next shot for the 5'11 freshman, Nolan Reed. This has been a stifling defense. And that one poked away beautifully by Pickett. Chased down by Toll. They'll say he was out of bounds. But a great hustle play there by Chris Toll.
Trying to get another possession here. 47 seconds to go, but GRB will have the ball. But again, this press man-to-man defense for RIZE has given fits to GRB in this one. Because Lynch is just trying to get across half court.
Yeah, and he's not going to be able to. There it is, backcourt violation. 10 seconds and done solely by Brandon Pickett. It wasn't like there was a press on.
Pickett just thinks that he could slow him down all the way up the court, which he does, and now it looks like Pickett wants to go right to the rack.
And earns a whistle. And he'll go to the line with 29.
So the young guys, they're all young guys, but some of the ones we haven't seen as much getting a lot of run in this second half of this first. I guess you call it a first half as well because we only play 2 here. But
sure.
You see Pickett gaining some confidence. Reed. Chris Toll's made a couple nice defensive plays as well. Samare. As I would say, Mamadou, I think you've earned it this weekend. You can kind of just sit here this in the second half. We'll see how much playing time he gets. He wants to get back in there. But our player of the game, that first game.
Beck. Out to Lynch for 3. Good. Gracion inside and fouled.
Nice first step there to use your spin move to create a little bit of space. Defender panicked. He's going to grab onto your arm all day on that one.
2-shot foul. Signano back onto the floor with Fisher for GRB. Gracion converts. Another pocket pick, but then they try to throw it. Miscommunication. Still, Pickett was able to get to it. With 2, he throws it up towards the rack, and it's just off the mark. First half in the books, 39-14. RIZE leads GRB. We will be RB. And our coverage of RIZE basketball here on JRM Sports. And we welcome you back to Rise and the second half of our final game of this weekend's tournament. With David McDermott, Matt Forgo with you. Connor Toll did the inbounding duties to get us going here in the second half. And Rise dominating in the first half. And for as good as the offense was, Damon, the defense was equally, if not more, impressive.
Yeah, it's tough when you play against this Rise team. They can switch all 5 positions. Rob Southall, even though he's 6'4", Mamadou Kane can even guard a guard. It's hard for some of these smaller teams to realize they can get guarded by a guy 8-9 inches taller than them. And on cue, there's a block.
There's Southall coming down with it. Southall going all the way and almost was able to punch the ticket. Instead, he ends up punching the ball out of bounds. So, GRB basketball. Different rules as we've become accustomed to now in the AAU circuit. The 16-minute 2 halves.
All you guys that complain about no shot clock for the WPIAL, watch AAU basketball. It'll make you happy, and I will say it does flow very well.
I'm with you, Damon, so much. I mean, I had never seen, or I guess I not seen, but never got to call and experience it until this tournament, and it does. It adds a flow to the game that you don't really realize how long a possession takes in high school basketball.
And if you're about development, that's one of the – if you talk to college coaches, it's hard to analyze some of these Pittsburgh schools is because they don't play under the pressure of a shot clock. They don't have to take 20 seconds to get a shot up.
Now, what I will say is in the high school game, if they did this with 8-minute quarters, boy, would that game fly by. I almost feel like you would need to add time, maybe make them 10-minute quarters. But I don't know if that's, in the cards. I would imagine the shot clock is coming at some point.
I think, honestly, there might be some – I don't know if every school, too, has the capabilities of having the clock above the hoop and everything like that with the shot clock. Like, there's a lot of – every school would have to be spending money. And
great example of that.
So some do, but I think it would help the game overall for sure. And I think eventually it has to come into play. Because like we talked about, just the flow of this game, it feels so much more like a basketball game.
And even with the score lopsided as it is, it still has a flow. There's still a flow to it.
And I think it's good for development because, again, you have to make very quick decisions when you have the basketball in your hands.
Right.
You can't take forever.
It's a great feed all the way down the floor to Guyton. Southall fouled. Couldn't get the roll, but it will go to the line.
You hear all those horror stories of a team holding the ball for 5 minutes in a semifinal game or a final. So it's just, I think it's time. Every sport's changing. Nobody said 10 years ago baseball would have all the review they have.
Sure.
Football, somehow we're still using sticks, even though in the NFL when we have technology.
Those are going
that.
away.
Yeah, they're doing that
away
as well.
Yep.
So
we're getting there.
Robot umps, like we're getting basketball. Though there's not much you need to really change in the high school game. I think other than the shot clock, and I think fouls will always be a hot topic because some teams use them to their advantage. But that even happens in the NBA as well.
No good on the first attempt there by Beck. Can't come up with it either on the second. Passing there by Steele. Steele couldn't get it over to Guyton. He gets it back, works it around. Tall through the lane. The seas part, and he splashes in too.
Now, everybody knows Connor Tall is a great sharpshooter, but if you can add that to your game, just a nice hesitation move and then a floater, that can expand your offense as well. A really nice move by Connor Tall.
Maybe the only other thing on the subject of time is in the college game and I guess the AAU circuit, the only ones that still use the halves. In the NBA is 4 quarters. Women's basketball in college has moved to 4 quarters. Obviously, a high school game is 4 quarters.
But men's basketball in college,
right?
First and second half, kind of like AAU. AAU is pretty much very geared towards the college scene.
Sure.
And it's very close to that.
Errant pass there, out of bounds.
I have always asked that. The women's college and the men's are completely different rule sets, which is always so odd to me.
Yeah, the fouls all different, obviously, that being adopted by the high schools. Both boys and girls go into the quarters, and then no 1-and-1 anymore.
I think it's great the sports now that they at least accept trying to change a bunch of, like the NFL, it seems like there's 7 or 8 rules getting changed every year. Where I think now even going all the way down to high school, they're like, okay, some of these rules have been in effect for 90 years. We might want to relook at some of these.
Signanu at the foul line, guarded by Kane. Got a guy breaking to the basket. Guyton couldn't finish.
Give Signanu some credit. He's been trying to guard Mamadou Kane this whole game as Connor Toll cashes in on another right-handed layup. Nice offensive game for him in this one. He's now up to 11 points.
Getting to see what he could do on the inside of the arc.
But Signanu was impressive very early, but I think they started to realize, hey, this is where the offense is going to be coming from, and now Mamadou Kane's been following him around most of this game.
I'm glad we talked to him about his last name, because we've said it
a bunch. Well, he's all over the court for him. You got to give him credit.
Fisher, short on the 3. Signanu chases it down. Over to the far side. Shot in and out for Lynch.
Just nothing right now with GRB. Those are 2 of their best shots they've got, and they just rattled out. Still battling this one. Mamadou Kane with a nice no-look pass to Connor Toll.
Yep, I was getting screened, so thank you for that, Damon.
It's an Olympic-sized court. We still get blocked, Matt. We just got to accept it.
3 is good and drained with a timeout after Drew Steele hits the triple and a timeout for substitution. So they're going to go right back to game action here.
You'll see that floater by Connor Toll right there. Another finish down low. So the sharpshooter showing us he can go inside as well, and then Drew Steele's cashing in another one from deep. Shout out to our camera people here today.
The men and women in the truck.
Men and women, that's one way to say it, man. But they're doing a great job, and excited. First time ever we're doing AAU hoops on the JRM channel. So.
That's it. And nice tip out there by Cracion, but it will be out on Rise, so GRB gets it. 48-14. Rise dominating this one. And this isn't a testament to Signanu finds the basket.
He's got 7 here tonight.
Cracion, yes. On the other end.
Yeah, Rise is just having a really good game. I think that's what's...
Keep in mind, like, Best Virginia only beat GRB by 10.
Yep. I think Best Virginia... We saw both of the best teams there. I think Best Virginia played Rise very good for the first 30 minutes of that game, and then it got out of hand at the very end. But Best Virginia was super impressive in that game, and it just shows you this game. I think Rise, again, we're talking about 15U. It takes a while for these guys to start meshing together. As you see someone on the bench talking right now, but they have been playing awesome in this one. As they are up 50-16. Continuous clock is now on. But it's just one of those things where GRB kind of just ran into a buzzsaw.
Nothing. Just throws one to the hoop. Pulled down by Sumari. Long pass to catch Cracion, who puts it up and in.
Cracion likes the extra minutes he's getting in this one, trying to cash in back-to-back points for Cracion.
Patterson out to Signanu. On the right hand, jump step, can't finish. Nolan Reed pulls it down and hands it off to Pickett, who's had himself quite the day. Out to Chris Toll and inside to Cracion. Good ball movement to the far wing. Back outside, thought about the 3, did Pickett. Now he'll pull up and splash in the triple.
Why not make it a little bit harder on yourself? You get that one contested. I think at first he double thought, and they're like, listen, you can unleash on that one, and there you go. Another 3 points for Pickett.
Don't doubt yourself, young man. Cracion, the steal. Tried to go no look, and it did eventually find Reed. That was fancy and finished with the three by Pickett. Wow. Globetrotter-esque.
Yeah, Cracion there he was looking for Nolan Reed in the corner. Ends up working anyways, as that's going to be a turnover for GRB, but Cracion's showing some flashy passes in this one. Originally from Slovenia. Stretch forward, kind of fits the mold there. I guarantee he said, I can play point if you let me. And he's trying to show off the passing a little bit. Every kid thinks they can play point now.
It's true.
We'll watch Mamadou Kane bring up the ball sometimes. He's like, I want to do it.
Out of bounds off of.
Imagine 20 years ago, Shaq saying he wants to carry up the ball, or I said DeJuan Blair earlier, but it's just so funny how the game has evolved so fast.
No doubt.
Every center needs to shoot a three. Every center needs to at least be able to dribble a little bit. It used to be you just post up, and you got to get out of the key every 10 seconds. And now it's these guys can dribble between the legs, behind the back.
Lynch. Loose. Cracion comes away with it. Bouncing
nice
beautifully to Samari.
Cracion's showing again. He wants the ball more in his hands to be a facilitator.
Loose, tall, ripping it away, and earns the arrow back to Rise. And there's that defensive specialist showcase there for Tall. Tall comes up limping.
There's that nice pass by Cracion.
Rowe will give him a breather.
I'm about to say, you just replace one Tall with one Tall.
Right. Three, that's short for Pickett. Chased down nicely, Sumari. Back to Pickett. To Tall here on the near side wing, who penetrates left hand and is fouled. Inbound for Pickett. Pickett to Cracion. Cracion the turnaround that doesn't fall. And out of bounds off of GRB. Rise maintains it. Running clock here under 5 minutes, 60-16.
Yeah, it got a hand a little bit here, but again, Rise has just been playing so good this game defensively. I mean, again, they can switch all 5 positions, and offensively, we've seen the 3-ball. In that first game, it took a while. In this game, 3-ball's been working since the first half.
Sumari out to Cracion, a 3 that in and out, rebound to Pickett, and it finds it.
Got some bench reaction on that one, creating a little bit of space. There's another block by Cracion.
Oh my goodness, he's having a clinic out there right now, and Cracion on cue, 2 more.
It's been unbelievable. So they're just going to let subs get in and out. So the brothers are smiling at each other. Yep. He goes, all right, I'm back in. We're fine.
Good to see Chris right back out there.
Yep.
Fisher also returns. Patterson. McNaughton got his pocket picked. Taken away and led up ahead for Brandon Pickett.
Another guy here tonight that has been showing a lot of flashes. It's scary to think all this depth again on Rise, 15U.
Fisher in the lane, fouled. Signanu returns.
see, try to get Signano a couple more baskets here. It's been their main offensive focal point in this game. Nice bounce pass to him right there. He's got to try to go right back up with it. Triple teamed.
Comes up empty. Here's Tall. Back up the floor, Sumari. Pickett. Wants a three. Can't get it. And off a hand, Sumari retrieves the loose basketball. 2 minutes to play. Fisher goes inside. McNaughton, empty. Pickett one more time. Out the Tall, fishes that one back out. Reed. Nice no-look pass, man. Sumari, beautifully done to Cracion.
I think Cracion started the no-look, and now everybody wants to try to get one before the end of this game. 1:30 to go.
GRB, 10 to shoot. Minute to play. Fisher can't get it to go. Cracion hanging out down low, and he will score one more time.
Bench got up. They thought he was going to try to go for a dunk, but just an easy layup. Don't want to get yelled at by Coach. You missed the dunk on that one.
Three that's short. Pickett retrieves it. About 8 seconds difference, or about 9 second difference between shot clock and game clock. That shot off the mark there by Sumari. And shot clock are now off.
Matt, we can firmly say now that RIZE is going to win this first shootout here at Easter.
Signano misses the three. Hustle play there by Signano to get another opportunity. And a three put in there by Kelly. Nicely done. But RIZE rises to the top of this tournament. Unblemished.
Yeah, very impressive 3-0. Played Best Virginia. That was our 1 o'clock game. They beat AIT last night. But our first tournament, we'll be back. But RIZE puts a cap on this one. Again, 15U. So many talented guys on this team pitched in here tonight. Connor Toll, good from three. Mamadou Kane only had 8 points, but, I mean, he was all over the offensive glass. Drew Steele again with 8. Cracion, a guy that we barely talked about tonight, had a really good game as well. So congrats to RIZE winning the first Easter shoot-around, and we'll be back in a couple weeks, Matt, for some more action.
We certainly will. Thank you for watching this presentation of RIZE Basketball as they win this one over GRB 70-18. And we will be back next weekend with more tournament action. Until then, for David McDermott and our entire JRM production crew, I'm Matt Fargo saying thank you so much for watching RIZE Basketball here on JRM Sports. Wishing you and yours a very happy Easter. We'll talk to you next time right back here on JRM Sports.